Okay, the next thing I want to address is the way that not just Candice, but a few of the, say, like, traditional conservatives on YouTube, the way they lecture other people, particularly women, on how to live their life. Okay, and they freak out if a woman influencer or a woman celebrity says anything they remotely disagree with. They absolutely majorly overreact to it. Well, when it's male influencers like Andrew Tate, who's followed by millions of men, they underreact. Okay, as I said before. All right, but have a listen to this. Right, this is all this woman said. You listen and observe the absolutely massive overreaction that these guys from this was back when Candice was working for the Daily Wire. Have a listen to the massive overreaction they have to this.
5 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm 29 and single, and I don't have kids yet. Here's what your Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29 and you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15. Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night, and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out, and I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why I was in bed for so long. And I was just scrolling on my phone and I saw a picture of shakshuka and I thought, you know what sounds really good? Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today. Because I have no plans and I don't have kids and I don't have a husband and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of some Real Housewives of New York. I'm also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend. Weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries. So I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids, and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you can do all these things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to.
Stop the video. The most offensive part.
Guys, let's play a drinking game. Every time she says I, take a shot of whiskey.
We'd be every time she says
we would all be
shakshuka.
dead.
Go shoplift from
Can I
Just
say
literally
something?
a narcissist.
So she's complaining about every time she says, I take a shot of whiskey and we'd all be dead. She's talking about what she's going to be doing on that day.
That's the point of the...
If I tell you about the things that I have planned for a day, I'm probably going to be using the pronoun I a lot.
Like...
Worse than that, and this is what drives me crazy. It's I. There's nothing wrong with being 29 and single. And I think that that's what they were trying to say, that conservatives are suggesting that you've done something wrong if you're 29 and single.
Oh,
so you've picked up on what the topic of the video is.
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with being 29 and single.
Candice.
And here's what I'm going to do today.
That you've done something wrong if you're 29 and single. Nothing wrong with being 29 and single. I know tons of people that are 29 and single, people that are 30 and single, people that are 31 and single, whatever. It goes on and on.
So what's your problem then?
I've got to say, so far, it's weird to hear Candice talk and not want to...
Is Candice's problem then that someone is happy with being 29 and
Yeah,
single?
that's the one. There's nothing wrong with you being single at 30, but if you're happy, that's the problem.
Or is it being happy enough to tell other people that you're happy being 29 and single?
Okay, so it's like, listen, I'm happy if you're happy, but don't tell anyone else.
Yeah. I seriously think Candice's issue here so far is that this woman has posted a video saying that she's happy being 29 and single. Because it's okay to be 29 and single.
Yeah.
So the only other thing that's happened is this person's posted a video saying why they're happy being 29 and single.
That's the problem. That's what we're seeing.
There's no failure. Maybe you didn't meet the right person. Things can go wrong. I get it. It's a hard society to date in. There are so many things you can do. She sits down and she basically says, the best part about not having kids is that you can just be a raging narcissist and do everything for yourself and only think about yourself and wake up at 10:15 or 11:15, whatever she says, which I just think is loser behavior.
All she said is my plans for today are this, because I got in late last night, and I can do this because I don't have kids.
And what's her response? What's their response?
Loser behaviour.
Loser behaviour, raging narcissist. What a failure of a human being.
I can have a chill day, therefore
That's benign, by the way.
I just can't get by that. I'm going to have a chill day, therefore narcissist. Candice, what the fuck are you doing?
And think about me all day. She speaks to the narcissistic culture that we are living in today.
Sorry, the person who's being narcissistic here is no doubt Candace. She is saying, you're not living life according to my view and the way that I see the world. And she's using this to call someone else a narcissist. It's projection.
This is it, right? This is what they lose their shit over if they're a woman, right? Because if this lady, like, if she'd said it was wrong to get married or wrong to have kids or was saying anything to put women off of her having kids or getting married, okay, fair enough. But she's not. She's actually said that, you know, she wants to get married and have kids. Okay. But she was just like, well, she's single at the minute. She's just looking at the bright side of being single, as in, like, you know, she can, you know, stay out as late as she wants without worrying about getting a babysitter. And, you know, the next day when she's a bit hungover, she could lay in bed for a while and, you know, because she didn't have any other obligations, which is true, okay? That is the benefits of being single, being childless, is that somebody can do what they want with their free time and they don't have any obligations, okay? That is true, okay? And I don't see anything wrong with somebody, like, you know, when they're single and if it's gonna take them a little while to find the right person, I don't see the problem in just, looking at the positive of being single. I don't see what's wrong with that, because she didn't, like I said, try to put people off of marriage, or like she's not put off of marriage or having kids. So I just didn't get the problem, okay? And I think it is true what these guys say, as that it's just because somebody sounds happy about being single, being childless, and that's what triggers them. Like, a woman is not allowed to say that. If a woman is single, she's either got to keep quiet about her life, or if she's got to says anything about it, she's got to say she's miserable. Because if a woman says that she's happy, you know, in a single life, they're triggered by it. They lose their shit over it. I don't understand. It's like, do they want these women to be miserable? You know, one of them said, like, oh, it's cope. She's saying this just because it's cope, really. And I think, like, well, if it is, so what? What's the problem? You know, like, if somebody said to me, either man or woman, if they said to me, like, you know, I'm a bit depressed about being single, I'm feeling a bit lonely, I might say something like, well, at least you can do whatever you want with your spare time, you know, you can stay out as late as you want, you can have a lay-in if you want, at least you don't have to, you know, worry about anything else, you can, you know, just do what you want. I might say something like that, and if I did say something like that, it wouldn't be because I'm trying to discourage them from, like, finding a partner, or discourage them from marriage or children or anything like that. I'd just be trying to cheer somebody up if they felt a bit down, felt a bit lonely. Or if somebody said to me, like, oh, I'm single, but, you know, I'm happy because I can do whatever I want on a Sunday. If they said something like that, and you know, I would hope they're telling the truth that they're happy. But if I suspected that actually they're feeling a bit down or feeling a bit depressed, well, I wouldn't want to say stuff to make them worse. I wouldn't argue with them and be like, no, you're not happy, you're miserable, really. Stop saying you're happy, really, you're miserable, you're upset about it, really. You know, do you know what I mean? It's like, they can't stand, like, if it's a woman, they don't care so much if it's a man, they can't stand the idea of a woman being happy, like, if they're single. And it's the same with, like, childless women. Like, I mean, if some women, like, don't want kids, they get angry about it. Or if a woman says, like, oh, she never had children because she didn't want any. It wasn't the path that she wanted to take. Again, they try to say, oh, well, she must be miserable, really. And it's like, do you want these women to be miserable? Like, if somebody said to me, like, oh, I never had children because I didn't want any, and I'm happy without any, like, I would hope that they're happy. I wouldn't be thinking, like, oh, no, I hope she's crying every night, really. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there are some women who say they don't want to have children, or say they never wanted to have children, and they're telling the truth. Okay, but there might be some people who have regrets, really. Okay, but if they can't do anything about it, well, then they might as well, like, be happy or look to the positive, But it's like these people, they don't want women to be happy, like, unless they are living the life that they say they should live. And I think, they don't really care about women, because if they did, they wouldn't be so insensitive. They say stuff like, oh, feminism makes women miserable. And I kind of think that, like, they say that, but they don't really care about women. I mean, if Candice cared about women, she wouldn't be trying her best to get all the rapists out of prison. She wouldn't be defending Andrew Tate, defending Harvey Weinstein, defending any scumbag that hurts women. Okay, they don't care about women. It's more about, like, the control. They want women to toe the line and do what they're supposed to do. And, like, they want that kind of society where everybody is, like, living the traditional lifestyle.